I found out that the phrase dusty female cat has some mind-blowing gematria numerology. Just follow Zach Hubbard's work and you'll learn how significant the numbers are. Every time the government stages some hoax or some historic event happens, it's pretty much the same numbers over and over, where the rulers who control the world will embed the numbers that are relevant to their secret societies and organizations into the names of individuals involved in the hoax, or the names of the politicians, and so on. So going by that, if you look at the name Dusty Female Cat, it has some baffling numerology that's connected to Freemasonry in a huge way. Dusty Female Cat in the base ciphers is 155, 47, 223, and 79. The fact that it sums to 223 is outstanding in of itself. Not only that, but it's also 115 in reverse full reduction, where P is 11 and E is 22. In Gematria, the name Dusty Female Cat has a Freemasonic signature all over it. It's bloated with it. Freemasons equate to 155 and 115. Why would Freemasons love the number 155? Because 1 plus 5 plus 5 equals 11. 11 is the master number. 10 is the perfect number, God. And 11 represents God being exceeded, Antichrist. 11 should not be broken down, as it is a master vibration. However, when broken down, 1 plus 1 equals 2, it represents the 2 of duality. 11 can represent sin, transgression, and peril. The number 11 is the essence of all that is sinful, harmful, and imperfect, said somebody named W. Wynne Westcott, The Occult Power of Numbers. Now, if you just type out 58 as words, the gematria of 58 typed out as words is 115 and 155, just like Freemasons. And the words Freemasonry, Rosicrucian, and Secret Society all come out to 58 in full reduction. That's what you call geometry in language. Now, in the primes cipher, Dusty Female Cat equals 508. In Gematria, you can ignore zeros, so 508 is like 58. Also, in the English Sumerian cipher, Dusty Female Cat is 930. Again, drop the 0 and you get 93, which is the Saturn number. And Saturn is a big deal in the occult beliefs of Judeo-Freemasonry. Propaganda also equates to 93, and in a way, I am a purveyor of propaganda that counters the propaganda of the powers that shouldn't be. In the Frank Baconis cipher, Dusty Female Cat is 307, which is the 63rd prime number. Mark of the Beast is 63 in single reduction. In the Francis Bacon cipher, Dusty Female Cat is 233, which is the 13th Fibonacci number. 13 is a sacred number. In sacred geometry, 13 circles are used to create the ancient shape, the flower of life. 13 represents death and rebirth. 13 can also represent rebellion against God's authority. 13 is a very important number to the Brotherhood. and was not intended to be used by the profane. Hence, the superstitions surrounding 13 we are taught in culture. It's our number. It's not for you, Goyim. I wrote that James Grider, in my novel, can assassinate any person he wishes every 13 days with the magical infocnal device called the Wick Dick of Hecris. Moving on to number 47. Oh, how lucky I am to have struck upon that number. They love that number. Usually when they stage fake news stories, you are likely to see 47 being used as a number of something. 47 pounds of cocaine was seized, or a fire burned 47,000 acres, or some shit like that. You can see that a lot of government-related words sum up to 47. DC, Democrat, Republican, Whig, government, White House, authority, president, and agent all add up to 47, along with the Freemasonic words like pole star and foundation. In the Freemasons logo, the compass is set at 47 degrees, and the circle on top of it is called the pole star. A very important Freemasonic number, 47. Next we have 223. That's a wonderful number. Masonic is 223 in Jewish gematria, and of course the Synagogue of Satan is 223. The Star-Spangled Banner is also 223. We also have a 79. Of course, the word murder is 79, which is interesting in of itself, but 79 is also the 22nd prime number. In numerology, 22 is one of the most powerful of all numbers. It is often called the master builder. The 22 can turn the most ambitious of dreams into reality. It is potentially the most successful of all numbers. It has many of the inspirational insights of the 11, combined with the practicality and methodical nature of the 4, its sum. JFK was assassinated on 11/22. And at last, in single reduction, Dusty Female Cat sums to 56. All-Seeing Eye, 56. Think how I go around with a camcorder and zoom in from far away to film sexy girls that are walking by, like an all-seeing eye. Society of Jesus, 56. Washington, D.C., 56. Light, 56. Dusty Female Cat is a name that is artfully coded with a Judeo-Freemasonic signature. You could not come up with a better name if you're a fucking Freemason. And to think of all the things that had to go just right in order for this to happen. Think about it. A stray kitten had to survive in the wild by herself and arrive one night at the house I live in and actually stick around and become a pet. This cat had to happen to be female. Some asshole had to name her Dusty. I wanted a goofy-sounding player tag on the PS3, and so I wanted to call myself Dusty the Female Cat. But I had to drop the because PlayStation only allows you to have a name with no more than 16 characters. So Dusty the Female Cat became Dusty Female Cat, and it actually sounded funnier, where instead of it being a name, the word Dusty became like a descriptor. Then I opened a YouTube channel and I called it Dusty Female Cat. Then I became a truth seeker, and I found out how this world really works, which at last led me to discover Zach Hubbard's work on gematria, and thus I was able to find out what an insanely Judeo-Freemasonic numerology encoding the name Dusty Female Cat holds. And it's like the name is mocking them. And I bet they did the gematria of Dusty Female Cat long before I did it. And they realized this. Because here I am, exposing them, and yet Dusty Female Cat is encoded with numerology that they fucking love. And it's all by accident. What a great irony, isn't it? This is a great example of an organic matrix. It's very obvious that they're keeping a close fucking eye on me. If I have a conversation on this channel, and I write a comment that mentions Jews, and especially tells the truth about Jews, that comment simply disappears after it's posted. It's like they programmed the AI to detect when I write certain things in my replies that they don't like, and they make the comment vanish. It has happened again and again and again. Now, just wait until I do the gematria decoding of James Grider's name, a name I picked randomly that has some very striking gematria matches to certain numbers that the tribe really loves. And if people think the powers that shouldn't be aren't scripting everything they do to us by the numbers, think again. The final approval for the building of the high-speed rail in California by Arnold Schwarzenegger, this is the high-speed rail that everybody hates because it's a waste of billions of tax dollars, occurred on August 26, 2008, a date which had a perfect numerology for such an event: 62, 44, 26, 42. Train in gematria is 62 and 26. Railroad is 42. Bullet train is 44. That's not to mention that the day of the month was day 26 in of itself. When they seem to struggle to pass some sort of a legislation amongst each other, it's all just theater to make it look like there is a democratic process. The script is written out decades in advance. Our future is written out by them decades in advance. We have no say in it. It's just an illusion that it seems like we have a say in it. This is why you can check all these news stories against gematria and find all these numerical coincidences again and again. And yet people think that they can stop the bullet train. They can somehow vote to get them to stop wasting money on building it. Look at what's going on here, how you're being mocked. The final high-speed rail bill is signed on a date that matches the numerology of the word train and railroad. But sure, go ahead, picket, protest, vote, like you're gonna make them go against the script. As for another example of an organic matrix, if you take the player tag, like Joshua Dakilla, let's go with the word killer representing killer. The word Joshua in English Sumerian cipher is 444. In this same exact cipher, the word killing is 444. His first and last name add up to 144 in the ordinal cipher. The word killer is 144 in Jewish gematria. My name comes out to 106 in one of the ciphers, and it also turns out that I was born on a date with 106 numerology. And take into account that words like entertain and destroy sum up to 106. I sure do like to entertain with my videos and my James Grider novels. I was born to be an entertainer. And to close this out, as a funny little trick, You know how the pi number is 3.14? That number is obtained when 22 is divided by 7. Now, if you type out the words, in words, type out 22 divided by 7, you will see how it comes out to 314 in the ordinal cipher, just like 3.14.